I think we are just about live. We're just starting. Give me a second just to check that everything's working here. Hope you've had an amazing day. Yeah, looks like we're running. Excellent. So yeah, I hope you've had an absolutely amazing day. We're still on lockdown in the UK. Obviously, it's still really early days. But I think we're all starting to get used to it. It's the Easter weekend. And normally, obviously, we'll be out visiting friends and family and, probably spending a lot more time with people. And yeah, it's just a really strange time. But I want to make sure that if you're a business owner like me, and if you find that actually, like some of my clients, that you're in a position where this is a break, a change in your routine, that you potentially see it as an opportunity for your business, then you'll be wanting to make the most of the next few weeks. And obviously, we don't know how long this is going to go on for, but I do know that for many of my clients, the shape of their businesses is changing. Some of them aren't able to trade at all at the moment and have had to close down completely because they are public facing and not in the food business or logistics business. And for those companies, really, there is nothing else to do once they've got the support in place that they need, that they've got the financial backing that they need. There's nothing else that they can really do other than press forward on some projects that perhaps they haven't previously had the time and energy for. And I don't know many business owners who do every day every single thing that they would like to do, because most of the business owners that I work with, in fact, I would say all of the business owners that I work with, are incredibly focused, incredibly driven, and very busy people. That's why I do sometimes work with people who are feeling really stressed and overwhelmed. They kind of go hand in hand, people who are the real achievers of this world, who really want to make an impact, really want to do something really big, really bigger than themselves. Those people do find themselves pushing the boundaries, and often that can mean personal boundaries. So things like health and, neglecting their own personal self-care. And I do come up against this a lot. I know it's something that I've experienced personally as well. And I don't think it's anything to worry about. I think it's just kind of par for the course, really. And I've had to learn how to kind of harness the energy of my drive and my passion for what I do, but also look after myself at the same time. And I've had to learn how to shift those priorities. And it's something that my clients also work with me to try and do over time. But what I wanted to talk about today is, for those of you for whom the next few weeks you sense it's going to be a bit of an opportunity to look at some of those projects that have been on the back burner and really bring them to life. I mean, lockdown is a bit of a strange time, and if you're not in your usual business unit, if you're not operating from your normal premises, chances are you're at home, where the challenge is to be productive is quite tricky at times. And that could be because of your family situation, because there are children about, and you're trying to find a good time of day to work, and you're maybe even potentially doing shifts with your partner, looking after children one time and working the other, and maybe your partner's trying to work as well. And it can be quite difficult. And I'm no stranger to those challenges, not myself, but people in my family who are facing similar challenges. And that need to be productive during this time is still there. I mean, let's not be ashamed to speak about it, because we still want to make sure that we're making the most out of these next few weeks, however this lockdown continues. Because if we do have things that we now have an opportunity to work on, like we never had that opportunity before because we were so engaged in just running the day-to-day business, then let's make the most of it. So what I was sort of toying with the idea of, and it's a hack that I use, and I use on myself as well. And I just wanted to kind of share that hack today, because I think if you've been trying to be a little bit more productive, and you've maybe been using the kind of like standard kind of things, like, maybe getting up at a certain time in the morning, setting up your workspace in the best way and things like that. Just doing all of the standard, bog standard stuff that people talk around productivity. Maybe it's setting a timer, which is something that I do from time to time, as I can find it quite helpful. And other times I just kind of ignore the timer, and so I just get around it anyway. But yeah, if you've tried all of those things, and what you're finding is you're not really achieving any more than you feel that you ought to in a day, then you really need to kind of switch your perspective. And I've got a hack that I'm going to share with you. What I was toying with the idea of just earlier was the idea of not just being productive, but being prolific. So imagine somebody that you know who is more productive than you are. And I find this really helpful myself, so I thought I would share it because I know I'm the kind of person that I'm internally quite competitive. So I'm competitive with myself because I want to be my best and I want to always deliver my best work. And I love learning as well. I love creativity. And so that's something that I don't actually compare myself. I don't have a real issue comparing myself with other people, but I do like to be around really productive and prolific people because it kind of speaks to my aspirations. And that's what I want to talk about with you today, is to really speak to what are your aspirations. So I think sometimes we set really low standards for ourselves. I think I'll be really honest there. And I certainly think this is the case for me. And if you're looking at being a little bit more productive, is that really what you want? Are you really being honest with yourself? Because I know that for me, I aspire to be prolific in what I do and the impact I have in the world. And I think that's partly because I want to make a really great contribution. I don't want to make just a small impact in the world. I want to make a much bigger impact than I'm currently making. And that is a far more exciting place to be, a far more fun place to be, a much more expansive and driven place to be. So, and I think that when you get the right energy behind what you're doing, I think that is when you become super productive. That's when you get exceptional results. So I think you can, by tinkering around with productivity, which is, I think, frankly, what most of us do on a daily basis. I think we just try the little things to be a little bit more productive and to get a little bit more done on the to-do list. And I just don't think it excites us enough. And for people like us who are quite emotionally driven and who, well, I don't know if you're anything like me. I certainly never want to do work that I don't want to do. I'm quite rebellious when it comes to that. I really love being in flow, feeling in flow, and feeling like the work that I'm doing is fun and energizing. And if I'm doing anything else, I just can't bring myself to do it. And I think when you're thinking about how you can double, triple, quadruple your productivity, it's far more exciting because what might you achieve? And I think a related question to ask actually is, what's the vision beyond the vision? This is a journaling question that I use quite a lot. And it gets me into the space of thinking, who would I be at that next level? This is something that I work on with my clients all the time. And it helps get them into the mindset of, if they were 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line, if they had created the business that they really wanted to create, what's the vision beyond the vision? And if you use that as your starting point, then you're much more likely to find that your day is incredibly productive. It's way beyond a to-do list. I think sometimes, I find to-do lists quite helpful, but I think sometimes I know what I do. If I just look at what I do, I will write a to-do list, and then I will do maybe half the stuff on it, and maybe potentially I could think, oh, well, I'm not being very productive. But the truth is, I've probably not stopped during the day because I tend to do what I feel aligned to, and that tends to work quite well. So what I would say is, I find it helpful to do a to-do list because it's a good aide memoire. It reminds me the things that I am focused on, my priorities, and it also captures any things that I think need to be done. And sometimes it transpires that some of the things on the to-do list don't need to be done. They don't have to be done. And I'm more focused around the work that I get to do. And I think that's a great space to think about for this lockdown, if you're in that position where actually you do have a bit of freedom to work on a project that perhaps has been on the back burner and you can now bring it to life. I think it's great to think about it in terms of, well, I now get to do this. I now get to work on this brilliant thing. And that is going to drive you much more than any little rubbishy little productivity hack that you might come up with, by the setting the timer for 15 minutes. I mean, frankly, the reason I need to set the timer for 15 minutes is because I'm doing a task that is boring as hell to me and I don't want to do it. Whereas if you're actually working on the real aspiration, which for me is that it's not productive, it's how do I learn to be prolific? So if I was the person already that was prolific, and by the way, if you can hear squeaking in the background, it's Lily with her toy. Completely forgot to take the squeaky toys off her before I started the live stream. So yeah, there you go, case in point, that's what she's doing. But yeah, anyway, prolific. Prolific is the aspiration. So if I was choosing to be prolific, then what would I do, and how would that change my routine? So would it mean that I get up earlier, for example? Would it mean that if I was the person that was prolifically, turning out this brilliant content and creating, 10 courses at the same rate that I would produce one, what would that look like? And I think it's just going back to standards, really. It's about having those standards that actually challenge and drive us and feel a bit kind of exciting. Because I think, to be honest, a lot of the time we don't do the work that we could do, and we're not as prolific as we could be because we're just not excited enough. So think about that for yourself. Does that ring true for you? And if it does on any level, then I'd really encourage you to get into that headspace of the person that you would be, the business owner that you would be if you were being prolific in terms of the impact you are having in the world. And I'd be really interested to know what comes up for you. So do share it. Either share it here, or if you want to PM me, then feel free to send me a message on my business page. And also over the next few weeks, if this is something that you really want to focus on, if you know that there's a project that you've really been putting on the back burner, now's the time to start it. Now's the time to get on with it and really put that energy and momentum behind it. Then I'm really excited to share again that I will be running this new program on the Tuesday, the 14th of April. We start for 4 weeks, 30 days of working on your business goals together. So one-to-one with me, and also in a group setting, doing live video trainings, sharing videos and audio trainings on different topics every day, and really working together to get that energy and momentum behind your business. So if you're interested in that, the program's called Energize. I'm really excited to run it. And I'm really excited to invite you in if that's something that you're really looking to do over the next 30 days specifically. And I think just having that 30 days target in there, and bear in mind that it's quite possible that we may go on for more than 30 days. We'll see what comes out, and because it depends what comes up. But you'll get this amazing opportunity to have me behind you, backing you to get real serious momentum for this project of yours that you're working on. And it may be that your business looks completely different after this, whether it's related to the current crisis that's going on and it's because actually there is a driver, there's a financial driver for you to completely remodel your business, or because it's just you will be able to get some serious momentum behind a project that you put off for so long. So that is the program for you if that's something that you're interested in. What I will do is I will now pop that in the comments so that you know where you need to go to sign up. Just give me a second to do that. FionaLynn.co.uk/energize. Let me just quickly, 30 days working one-to-one with me on your biz goals, daily trainings. Also going to have some amazing consulting hot seat sessions, which I'm really excited to do. That's really fun because we get to see inside your business and we get to coach you around things that are happening. And obviously anybody else who's watching also gets amazing insights into what they're doing as well. It's always really, really helpful. And yeah, I should put that in now. So basically, if you're interested in joining us for the course, then it's an online course primarily, but I'm also giving you access to me one-to-one via Voxer. So you will be able to voice message me in real time. So every day as things come up in your business, in this project that you're working on, you want to share, and if you're feeling like unmotivated and that you're not making the progress that you want to make, we can talk about that, I can coach you through it. Often things come up, I know this as well, that you feel blocked around or are hindering your progress. We can deal with all of that. So yeah, if you're interested in joining us for that starting Tuesday, if you sign up there at fionalynn.co.uk/energize, then your box of voice notes will start immediately. And even though the program is only starting on Tuesday, your voice notes will start immediately. So, because I know the thing is, if you're anything like me, when you sign up for something, you just want to dive straight into it. You've made that decision that that's what you're doing and you're going to move forward. And I'm not surprised because overachievers is what we like to do. And yeah, and I'm talking about not just being productive, but being prolific. That will be the standard that I'm holding myself to for this program and going forward in my business. And I'm going to encourage you to do the same. So maybe your vision beyond the vision is slightly different to mine and it's very personal around your business. But bearing in mind what your vision is beyond your vision, that is the standard that I'm going to be holding you to for the 30 days. So anybody who's not up for that need not apply. So yeah, I know it's going to be the most amazing program, and if it's speaking to you and you kind of like the way that I do things, then even if you're new to me and you don't know anything about me, feel free to message me. You know, I'm a person and I'm available, and you know, I'm more than happy for you to send me a message and ask me any questions that you have about the program. As I say, just to head to the webpage, you'll find all of the details there. And if you still have any questions, then do just message me. Anyway, I better go because I have to make dinner now. So I will no doubt catch you tomorrow. Take care and we'll speak to you soon. Bye.